You're looking at an extremely rare patch for the 5 Commando unit of the Congolese army in the mid-1960s. Basically a mercenary force under the command of Mike Hoare. And this was for the 2nd Battalion. And my buddy Harris, holding this thing, is going to tell us how the heck he ended up with such a weird, rare piece of stuff from basically what, a African Civil War?
So when I was a boy in the 8th grade, we lived in Port Elizabeth, South Africa. My father worked for Ford Motor Company International Division and built an engine plant to build Cortinas there. When we returned to the States, we took the Italian liner Europa from Port Elizabeth to Durban, Mozambique, and up the east coast of Africa through the Suez Canal, landing at Trieste, Italy. On board that boat was 2 South African mercenaries and their girlfriends, and they had just completed their tour of duty in the Congo, fighting in the Mau Mau uprising. They were in the 5 Commando. I got to know them real well, and we hung out every day at the pool. They were basically there to go on a let off steam tour up on the ocean liner, and then a trip through Europe, and their goal was to drink as much alcohol as they could, have as much fun as they could, and try to forget the horrid nightmare that they saw in the Congo. At the end of our voyage, they came up to me when we were about to disembark, and they said, "Harris, it was really nice. You were like a little brother to us. We really had fun with you, and we want to present you with a patch from our unit," because they knew I was, even as a boy, was interested in militaria, and they presented me with this patch. I thought it was lost. I looked for it in my mom and dad's house many times in college and after, and finally when my mom passed away, it turned up in a box there when we sorted out her belongings, so I'm reunited with it again. It's probably the most valuable patch. I have over 400 in my collection, but this means more to me and is probably more valuable than any other patch I own.
What year was that?
That would have been late 65 or early 66.
And how old were you? What grade were
I
you
was
in?
in 8th grade. It's called Standard 6 in South Africa in the British system.
So you were a little 8th grade punk who spent a week hanging out with 2 5 Commando mercenaries.
Yes. Yeah, and they used to start right off in the morning with beers, and then they'd work up to gin and tonics, and they'd slip me one every once in a while, and my mom and dad didn't know it.
Well, thanks for the story. Incredible. You may have the only one of those around. That was never a big unit to start with, and the 2nd Battalion wasn't formed until after they were in Stanleyville helping to try to rescue all those missionaries and civilians. Interesting. Never know what's going to show up.
That's correct.